What's good, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael, and today we're going to be talking about a worldwide epidemic, right? And I bet you can guess what this epidemic is. It is the health of society, of the world. Now, for me, I have always heard that America or the US is obese. We're overweight, we're unhealthy, we're unfit. All these negative connotations with our health. And I don't know where, but somewhere along the line, I formed the idea that the US is way worse off than every other place. Now, I've been in India for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be here for just over another 2 weeks. So I'll be here for just over a month. And something I can tell you from being here for just 2 weeks is that prior statement is not the case, okay? There are a lot of people here that are overweight and a lot of people here that are obese. And I'm speaking quietly because I don't want to directly offend anyone or feel like I'm, disrespecting their culture or their home in their place. I'm staying in an ashram. You can look that up if you're interested to find out what that is. Side note, it's pretty cool because there's wild dogs, wild cows, right? That's kind of ironic that cows are a holy animal, yet they, eat trash and walk around on the streets. This thing is so holy. But what I thought was amusing is there's monkeys, tons of monkeys, and they just, fly around wherever they please. Anyways, this epidemic. Now, okay, so the US isn't alone when I say that it's unhealthy, it's obese, it's unfit, all these negative these things that come with negative health consequences. So what does that mean for us, Michael? Because many of us watching this video are in the US. That doesn't mean that we're better off. It doesn't. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. It just means that everybody else around us is worse off. So the problem is larger and bigger than I thought, at least. Here they eat a completely different meal, right? Not just the types of food, but their macronutrient intake. When I say macronutrient, I'm talking about protein, carbs, and fat. In the US, we eat a lot of meat. A lot of us do. A lot of meat. So we have a higher protein intake. Here, they eat flour, potatoes, rice with nearly every single meal. So their carbohydrates are through the roof. And they don't eat a ton of meat. So their protein is relatively low. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, keto is best. Traditional is best. Paleo is best. Blah, blah, blah is best. Fill in the blank. What I think this really serves to prove is that none of these are the best, right? What is the best when it comes down to weight control is the quantity of food rather than what you're eating. So you shouldn't be asking what should I be eating, but rather how much of what I'm eating should I eat, right? And I think it's a larger issue than this because simply eating quote unquote healthy, we didn't even talk about healthy food. Eating a limited supply of food alone does not solve the problem. And the reason it doesn't solve the problem is because if you say, Michael, okay, for my height, my body weight, my activity level, everything considered, you say I should have 2,500 calories, right? This is a hypothetical example, 2,500 calories. Okay, so I'm gonna eat McDonald's, 2,500 calories, just McDonald's. Is that person healthy? I think unanimously we can agree that that person is still not healthy despite not necessarily putting on any weight because he is controlling his amount of calories. So the quality of the food matters as well, okay? Now people always ask, what is healthy? What's not healthy? And I think the overarching theme that one can think about when they're talking about being healthy is it a whole food, right? So things we want to think about. How much preparation went into preparing that food, okay? We want to limit our salt intake because things that are very processed have way more salt than we need. So I think a general rule of thumb is if you go into a grocery store, you want to stay along the edges, or the border rather, of that grocery store, okay? Once you start going inside, like in the middle of the grocery store, in those aisles, they tend to be much more filled with processed foods. So stay along the edge of the grocery store, stick with whole fruits, vegetables. You've heard this since you're kids. And I think it's ridiculous because we are told these things, but we're told them so much that it's almost in a droning matter where we don't even know like what we're actually saying, what we're actually hearing, because we've heard it so much we become numb to the idea. And furthermore, to build on top of that idea, in school we learn, chemistry, biology. We learn, they say the science of life, or life science is what they call biology, chemistry, physics. We learn math, we learn social studies, we learn history. We learn a little bit about everything. Yet we miss the most crucial thing that supports your education, and that is your health, right? Why are they not teaching us things like posture in school? Because ultimately posture influences a lot of things like your behavior, your energy level, further complications down the road, right? So posture, how to eat, how to regularly exercise. Because a lot of people, they know they should exercise, yet they think that exercise is dreadful, right? And trust me, I've been there, I've done that. I've had injuries where I've been out for months at a time, and I recall saying to my friends, wow, I really know what it feels like now. For the first time ever, I know what it feels like to not want to work out, But a lot of people think that just because they feel uncomfortable, okay, that's reasonable. But they feel like exercise will always be something they dread, something they will be never good at, and that's just not true. I think that the education system, and I'm really going on a rant here, the education systems focus on important stuff, yet they skip stuff that is just as important, if not more important. Because ultimately, I think we can agree that your health is crucial for not just your happiness, but also further serving your education later down the road. And that's another one they never teach you, is how to be happy. Can someone teach you how to be happy? Maybe, maybe not, but they can give you principles, right? Things you can enact in your life, what they've learned in their life. So I think that's going to conclude this video. We're talking about quantity of food, we're talking about quality of food, and then there's actually two more dimensions that I'll briefly touch on.